Every single problem that can happen to a diver underwater, burst eardrums, nitrogen narcosis, decompression sickness, pulmonary embolism, equipment failures, traces back to one thing: pressure. Understanding pressure is not just the first chapter of dive theory. It is dive theory. And if you want to teach it properly, or explain it under pressure to one of your students, you need to know it cold. Let's dive in.
Welcome to Deep Dive Theory. I'm Dominic Weckelin, PADI Course Director, and I created this series because I believe that great diving starts with solid knowledge. Deep Dive Theory is my project. Every episode, every topic, every piece of content carries my signature. From here on, my staff instructor Adrian will guide you through each episode. He breaks down the knowledge clearly and practically, pitched at dive master and instructor level. Adrian, please take it away.
Thanks, Dominic. Let's get into it. Welcome to Episode 1, Pressure. You'll encounter pressure in your open water diver course, in advanced, in rescue, in your dive master training, and it will come up again and again, multiple times in multiple forms. It connects to every gas law we'll cover in this series. So let's make sure you don't just know it, you own it. Right now, sitting or standing wherever you are, you're already under pressure. The entire weight of the Earth's atmosphere is sitting on top of you. We call this 1 atmosphere, or 1 bar. In imperial units, that's about 14.7 pounds per square inch. You don't feel it because your body has adapted to it over a lifetime, but it's real, it's significant, and it's the baseline for everything we do in diving. Here's the distinction that every diver needs to know absolutely cold: the difference between gauge pressure and absolute pressure. Gauge pressure is what your submersible pressure gauge reads, your SPG, your dive computer. At the surface, it reads 0 bar. Why? Because it measures pressure above atmospheric. It treats the atmosphere as its starting point, its zero reference. Absolute pressure is the total pressure on you, water pressure plus the atmosphere that was already there. At the surface, 1 bar absolute, not 0. This matters enormously for calculations. Always use absolute pressure in your dive formulas. We'll see exactly why when we get to Boyle's Law in the next episode. Every 10 meters of salt water adds exactly 1 bar of pressure. It's consistent and predictable, and it means we can calculate the pressure at any depth instantly. At 30 meters, 30 divided by 10 plus 1 equals 4 bar absolute. The pressure on that diver is 4 times what it is at the surface, and that has real, measurable consequences for every gas-filled space in their body and equipment. A note on fresh water: the density is slightly lower, so it takes 10.3 meters of fresh water to add 1 bar. PADI rounds this to 10 meters for most training purposes, but for precision work, especially at the IE, know the distinction. Your ears. If the eustachian tubes don't equalize, the pressure differential causes pain and can rupture the eardrum. Your sinuses. Same principle. Your lungs, the most critical of all. Any obstruction during ascent can cause a pulmonary barotrauma. And your BCD and dry suit. The air inside compresses as you descend, affecting your buoyancy. Every one of these spaces responds to pressure changes. That's why we equalize on the way down, and why we ascend slowly and continuously on the way up. This is what's happening physically when a student asks you why their ears hurt, or why their BCD deflated on the way down. The answer is always pressure. All right, Teaching Corner. This is the part of Deep Dive Theory where we talk about how to actually explain this to your students, because knowing physics and teaching physics are 2 very different skills. Here's what works for me in the IDC. Technique 1. The hand on the shoulder analogy. The setup. The atmosphere is always pressing down on you. It's been on your shoulder your whole life. You've just stopped noticing it. Gauge pressure ignores that existing weight and only counts the new pressure being added by the water. Absolute pressure counts everything, the weight that was already there plus what the water adds. Once students understand the atmosphere as something that's permanently on them, the gauge versus absolute distinction clicks immediately. Use this analogy early and refer back to it whenever the confusion surfaces. Technique 2. Build the table with them. Don't just write the pressure table on the board and tell students to memorize it. Let them discover the pattern. Surface is 1. What do you think happens at 10 meters? Build it line by line, together, their own discovery. It sticks 3 times longer. Most common IDC mistake. Candidates write 30 meters equals 3 bar instead of 4 bar absolute. They forgot to add the 1 bar atmosphere. My fix? Train them to always write the full formula first. P equals D divided by 10 plus 1, and then fill in the number. The plus 1 acts as a built-in reminder. Make it a habit. Language consistency. Pick one unit system for your entire course and stick to it. If you use bar everywhere. Don't switch to ATM or PSI mid-explanation. Terminology drift is one of the silent killers of student comprehension. Keep it clean. One classic IE question before we wrap. Pause if you want to work it out first. A diver descends to 30 meters in salt water. What is the absolute pressure? 4 bar absolute. P equals 30 divided by 10 plus 1. Don't forget the plus 1. That's the one that costs candidates points at the IE. Let's land this. 3 things to take away from today. 1. Absolute pressure equals depth in meters divided by 10 plus 1 bar for the atmosphere. Always add 1, no exceptions. 2. Gauge pressure is what your instruments read. Absolute pressure is what you use in calculations. Know the difference, and make sure your students know it too. 3. Pressure acts on every gas-filled space in and around the diver. It is the foundation of every single gas law we'll cover in this series. Next episode, Boyle's Law. Why the air in your BCD shrinks as you descend, what that means for your buoyancy, and how to explain it in a way your students will never forget. If this was useful, subscribe. There are 11 more episodes coming in this series. Drop your questions in the comments below, and if you're working towards your IDC, reach out. I'd love to hear where you are on your journey. I'm Adrian from Sea Explorers Philippines. See you in the next one.
Dive it, dive it, dive it, dive it, dive it, dive it. Dive it, dive it, dive it, dive it.